So the last time I really made a TikTok, it was in January, and I had just finished off the Bible, um, reading the Bible in a year. My husband got baptized that previous December, on the 23rd. Our daughter graduated from high school, and she's now at a day program. She's special needs. Our boy turned 16 in October, but where did this one come from? All right, so let's talk about it. It was June 2025. I found out that I was pregnant. But let's back up. So, January went great. February, I was exhausted, a little moody, but I mean, between mental health and a bunch of other things, I just figured it was just the season. Uh, April, no, March. March, we ended up getting a was it March? Yes, March. We ended up getting a girl through foster. She was 3 years old, 2 years old, turning three. She was special needs to some extent. I think more learning disabled than actual like autism or anything, but that's still up to be determined. I mean, she's only 2 years old. She turned three with us. We kept her for about a month and a half, and then we realized we couldn't do it. We didn't have the time. Angel was graduating from high school. It just was too much going on, just way too much going on. Around that time in May, yeah, around that time in May, we ended up giving her back to social services. We just couldn't do it, and she needed to be with a family that had the time to be able to teach her the sign language, the skills, and all the things. And I just working as a full-time special education teacher's aide and substitute teacher, and my husband working full-time at his job, and the kids moving around the way they needed to move around. We just didn't have any time. Okay, so let's get into it. It was June 26th of 2025 that I had went to, no, the June 25th, I had went to the doctor. I was having gastrointestinal issues. I was not tolerating coffee. I felt like I was bloating. I was going to the doctor to go see a dietitian or a gastroenterologist, somebody, because baby, if I couldn't have my coffee every day, it wasn't gonna do it. And so I went to my husband and I'm like, honey, I have like diarrhea every single day. This is getting ridiculous. I'm having a hard time. I'm feeling these weird, like, pains or whatever. My mama just sent me a message and I'm like, girl, okay. So anyway, my let me see what happened. My sciatic nerve was like tore up from like April all the way up until June. Okay, and I'm one of those ignorant people that die silently. Look at this baby. Look at this sweet baby. I'm one of those people that die silently. So I'm sitting there and my sciatic nerve is on fire. I barely can walk. I'm thinking it's because I was holding a little foster girl and who we just felt so precious about. Like I was holding her. On my hip, like the old school side hip hold. And I just figured I was throwing nerves in my back. I'm also a special education teacher's aide. And so we do a lot of the pulling and the changing and the things like that. And so I'm thinking I'm 34 years old, my body falling apart. Who's going to complain? My husband broke his ankle in 2020. Who am I to complain about some little, back pain, sciatic nerve pain? Yeah, I die on a hill. That doesn't make any sense at all. Let me slow down in talking because they'll probably like, whoa, she talk way too fast and she on one. No, this is just a normal. Okay, so let's get back to it. So I'm like, all right. So the day I'm supposed to go to the doctor, I think it was somewhere around, I think it was like Juneteenth. Maybe it was like a couple of days. I don't know. But my daughter was out of the day program. So she came with me, our adult daughter. She's 21. She came with me to the doctor's office. She cutting up. I mean, she don't want to sit with her mama. She walking around the doctor's office. She talking. The doctor talking. I'm like, bruh, you going to the day program again. The day they open, you going. I'm dropping you off. I'm not playing. They ain't even got to come get you. I'm going to drop you off at that day program because, girl, can your mama live? This ain't even your appointment. This ain't even about you. Okay. So anyway, we go into the appointment. I go see my doctor, and I'm telling her all my issues and things like that. She even has me lay back. She's checking my pelvic bone and things like that. Just because I was feeling like pains, like different line of pains, and I was like, "Girl, this is hurting." And so she was checking stuff and she didn't feel nothing. Everything was fine. I was like, okay. Never once crossed my mind that I could be pregnant. Now, before you be like, well, how do you know you're not pregnant? I have PCOS. So the last menstrual I had was in December of 2024. It's June. One thing about PCOS is when you don't have a... Oh, let me cut this off because we're getting too long. And ain't nobody going to watch this story time if it's too long. Okay, so where did I leave off at? So I go to the doctor and she's like, let's go ahead and let's do a panel. It's been a while. Let's do a panel. So she had me urinate. She took blood, but I had forgotten. I gave her blood. Okay, because I'm anemic. So we checked her my iron and everything else like that. I go and do that. Go home. Everything's fine. That Friday. Then I think that was like a Wednesday or Thursday. That Friday. Okay, June 26th. Was it June 26th? Was it June 26th? It might not have been June 26th. Whatever the 22nd. It might have been the 22nd. I don't know. Maybe the 24th. It was one of them days. Yeah, it was that Friday. Yeah, because it was... Oh, yep, you're right. It was the 22nd. Because the 26th is when I found out how pregnant I was. This was 22nd. So she calls me back that Friday. And she's like, hey, Africa, I just need to let you know that we're not going to go ahead and go with the gastroenterologist. We're not going to do the dietitian or any of that. I was like, what? Why not? She's like, you're pregnant. I'm like, no, I'm not. She's like, yes, you are. I'm like, bruh, quit playing with me. Get off my phone. She was like, no, I don't quite understand what you're talking about. Like, I don't understand what you're saying. I said I'm not pregnant. Because in my head, PCOS, it could have been like a cyst that's gone crazy. I mean, it's not uncommon for a cyst to mimic a baby. And she's like, no, you're pregnant. I'm like, no. She's like, well, do you have a new OB? I mean, she's not a new. She's like, do you have an OBGYN? I'm like, no, my OBGYN left the practice that I was going to her at, and I don't have an OBGYN. She's like, well, you need one. I'll need one. And now I'm feeling a little pressured because I'm like, bro, this is crazy. Like, you call me, you tell me I'm pregnant, you tell me I need a doctor. Like, all this is in 2 minutes, and I'm still telling you I'm not pregnant. I promise you, I'm not pregnant. She goes, well, your blood test says that you're 7,560 HGC. I was like, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm pregnant. You said my blood test got me. Bro, that's crazy. I'm pregnant. I'm 34 years old. I have a 21-year-old. I have a soon-to-be 16-year-old. We're going on a cruise October 2nd of 2025. It's June. And I'm pregnant? What you mean? Be for real. So we were going on a cruise. My sister, her husband, my mom, my dad, my husband, our 2 children at the time. So I'm still in shock. My sissy poo is with me when I got the phone call. And she's just so excited. And I'm still in shock. Like, I'm about to cry. I don't know what's going on. I had told my sister, Courtney, earlier that week that I looked pregnant. That my stomach was all weird and everything was crazy. That I looked pregnant. Okay. I called her. I'm like, sissy, I got something to tell you. She was like, what? I was like, I'm pregnant, girl. She started crying. She's so excited. I'm like, bruh, be for real. Like, are we really excited about this? She's like, yeah. Now, one would say, well, why weren't you excited about a baby? I didn't even know I could still have kids, y'all. I didn't even know. Okay, I've been out here willy-nilly and with my husband having a great time, and we didn't even know we could still have kids. That's crazy. Hey, snuggles. Hey, snuggles. Semi-snuggle poos. Oh, she out. And so, I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. So I call her. My other friend, Sissy, my other sissy Michelle gave me a onesie, and I went and got some energy drinks, and I took it to my husband, and I was like, we're having a baby. I'll probably put those videos up now because I've dealt with all the shock. I'm finally through it. I'm finally through it. Like, I found out I was pregnant, had a baby, and now I'm taking care of the baby within the time period I found out I was pregnant. Like, be for real. So, let me go ahead and let this video go because I'm telling you, you ain't gonna watch it if it's too long, girl. The attention span is short, baby. You ain't gonna watch it. I wouldn't watch it if it was too long. Okay, so I went and took it out to my husband, and I need to fix my glasses. Oh, I'm sorry, Snookers. I'm sorry, Mama Snookers. I'm sorry, Mama Snookers, boo. I'm sorry, Mama Snookers. Mama, stay still. Mama promised we'll stay still. Okay, so anyway, so I'm sitting there. That's my snuggles. This is Snuggapoos. This is Snuggers. Okay, so anyway. Where was I at, girl? Let's be for real. Okay, so anyway. I told my husband, I'm like, yeah, we're having a baby. We're thinking it's going to be in 9 months. I'm like, yeah, my HCG, whatever that means, because, you know, I've been so far removed from counting in months. You know, when you have a child that's 15, turning 16 years old, you don't count in months. You don't be like, oh, this is month 7,006. You know, no, you don't count in months. So I have no idea what any of that means. So I'm getting on Google. I'm calling my sister Courtney, and we're trying to do the math. We're trying to figure it out. I even asked my doctor, because she called me back later on that day, because I was so bad in shock. She wanted to make sure she followed up to understand that I understood, to know that I knew that I was pregnant and that I was going to get a doctor. I got a doctor, y'all. I got a doctor. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, what does that mean? It was like, you're probably like 6.5 weeks pregnant. That's what Google meant. So I downloaded the little app. I called my friend Brittany. I downloaded the little app, and the little app said that she was a blueberry. She was going to be a blueberry. So we told family. We went to Chicago for the last time. We bought a little onesie, because I'm thinking I'm having a baby in maybe February or March, and right now it's June. I'm like, give or take. My last period hasn't been since May. In my brain, I'm thinking my last period hadn't been since April or May, because I track my periods, right? When I do have them, I track them. I'll tell y'all how that went. Since she's awake, she's going to be a part of story time. So, okay, where did I leave off at? We found out we was pregnant with you, Sissy Pooh. Okay, so we go to Chicago. Everything's fine. So that next following Tuesday, I call the new doctor's office, and they're like, okay, well, you look like you're about 8 weeks pregnant, 6, 7, or 8 weeks pregnant. And we don't normally do it to ultrasound until like 10 to 12 weeks. And I'm like, okay. And so I explained to them my situation, and the Holy Spirit put it on the books, baby. God gave me an appointment for an ultrasound. He gave me an appointment for the nurse practitioner so I can find a doctor. Oh, the baby's yawns. The baby yawns. The baby got cute yawns. The baby get kisses. Yeah. And so he put it on the books. So that Wednesday, my mother came with me. We're getting ready to have an ultrasound, okay? Still not looking pregnant. Oh, she wants you to see her feet. Said, I want you to see my feet. I kick my feet out. Good morning. Choose kindness. Okay, so back to story time. Just briefly before I go back to reading my Bible. So we get an ultrasound appointment, and that was a Wednesday. So I think that was actually the June 22nd, 6th. So we get an ultrasound appointment. My son just scared me so bad. I was like, who is walking in here? I swear he hear his mama breathe. I'm not even gonna hold you. He always showing, and he brought the dog. Leave my asparagus alone. You're not even gonna want to eat none.
I don't want any of that. I have a question.
What, baby?
So you remember we were talking about how God wasn't speaking, how God only spoke to certain people?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm confused now, because this part is saying that he also spoke to the Israelites in general through the fire.
Yeah.
So,
but the individual relationship.
Okay. So the commandments and the instructions to do certain things were spoken to specific people, but sometimes when he was speaking to that word, sometimes when he needed to speak to everybody, he spoke through the fire and the tabernacle.
Mm-hmm. He did group announcements, yes.
Okay.
But he didn't have a relationship with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah, you may talk to a whole room, but only a few people in there are you truly friends with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look who's up. Pootie. Good morning. You want some oatmeal? Do you want some oatmeal? Okay. So we get an ultrasound appointment. Let's try this again. We get an ultrasound appointment on June 26th, and that's a Wednesday. So I go to the doctor. I go to the hospital. Out here, it's just a big old like hospital clinic, like, you know, like Kaiser and stuff like that, but for in California, but I live in Missouri. So I went to one of the local ones here, and that morning we had an ultrasound appointment. So my mom and I went, and I remember I downloaded this little app. It was cute. Everything was fine. On the app, it said that she would be the size of a blueberry. So the baby would be the size of a blueberry. Because I'm like 7.5 weeks pregnant. Like, be for real. Not that pregnant. I get to the ultrasound appointment. I drink my little water and everything. My bladder's full. I sit on that bed. All of a sudden, okay, so I'm sitting on the bed. Okay, I'm laying on the bed. My mom is sitting on this side. The sonographer is sitting on this side. She goes, she puts the cream on me. She's talking. We just talking. Meanwhile, I'm 7.5 weeks pregnant. Glory. Glory. Just thinking about that gives me PTSD. She puts the machine, the ultrasound thing, probe on my stomach. Why is there a big old baby inside of me, bro? A big old baby. Like a big, fully developed baby. Okay, let me stop yelling. So, she puts the probe across my stomach right here, matter of fact. Full head. My mom was like, oh my gosh, that's a big old head. Oh my gosh, that is a big baby. My mom is like practically coming apart. She's so happy. She's so crying. She's all the things. Meanwhile, I'm sinking into the table like it's the sunken place. I felt my whole body fall through the floor of the table and hit the ground. Like, I wasn't even available anymore. I checked out. All I kept saying was, that is a big baby. That is a big baby. That is a big baby. The sonographer is like having a great time with my mom. They're talking about like, I can't even begin to tell you because I was gone, like mentally gone, checked out. Like I'm still struggling with how I found out I was pregnant. Let me go to the next video.